So I'm gonna break this chapter down from part 1 and part 2 for 1140 for this chapter. So the first part will be the focus between Luffy's fight and Scopper Gyaban's fight. In the second part, well, Shamrock and their little and his merry band scheme of what they're going to do. So here we are at One Piece chapter 1140, titled Scopper Gyaban. And like I said last chapter, we're about to see how good Scopper Gyaban is. For those that don't know about Scopper Gyaban already, Scopper Gyaban, well, let me just say this. He's the left hand of the King of the Pirates, which was, honestly, I'm going to tell you, Goldie Rogers. So we already met the right hand of Goldie Rogers, King of the Pirates, which was Rayleigh, which we already know how Rayleigh is, how strong his ass is. So his strength was displayed during his fight against Kizaru. Mind you, against Kizaru, which Kizaru was, well, an admiral, not marine, not vice, an admiral. So one of the top dogs, basically. So now we get to see how strong Scopper Gyaban is against Luffy and his gang. Which, let me tell you something, he probably ain't gonna, 9 times out of 10, he probably isn't gonna take them seriously, because in his mind, well, he can wipe them out, basically. So let's get into this chapter, and it leaves off where Scopper Gyaban is up there where the key is and holding it, and Luffy, not Luffy, but Luffy saying, why would we fight you over the key, old timer? Just give it here. And Rhoda's confused. What are you doing? And Scopper Gyaban says, well, typical fashion of what Virgil would say to Dante. If you want it, you just have to take it. There you go. And Luffy takes that as, oh, bet, and blitzes Scopper Gyaban. And Zoro, when I say, I don't know what happened to Zoro, but in this chapter, I gotta say, Zoro is on his P's and Q's. Well, I mean on his P's and Q's, I mean he's kinda more alert, you know? If you pay attention to Zoro's character a bit, you notice little by little that it's not only that they're now a recognized Yonko crew, and with a higher bounty too on top of that, and they defeated one of the emperors of the sea. No small feat there. Now they have to take like every decision they make as a, oh shit, seriously? Zoro's giving a flashback and saying as to what that boy Scopper Gyaban's son said, and I quote, "Did you know my father's human too? He used to be a pirate, and he didn't even fear anyone, not even the warriors of Elbath." And Zoro's thinking like, wait a minute. So back to getting the key between Luffy and Scopper Gyaban. Scopper Gyaban with the key in his hand is dodging Luffy's attacks and stuff. And Luffy's like, the hell's going on here? And Luffy's yelling at Scopper Gyaban, like, come on, old timer. The sooner we get back to Loki, the sooner we get back to the feast. And then Scopper Gyaban's rebuttal to Luffy was like, oh, well, if you're in that much a hurry, then hurry up and take the key. But you can't, because you're too slow. And I can read your movement. So Scopper Gyaban jumps in the air with the key and slams Luffy into the ground with it, with armored up hockey, by the way, on the key, which, Jesus, and slams Luffy on the ground. And Nami and Rhoda's like, oh, damn, that's not good. But, however, that doesn't keep Luffy down, and he springs back to action, and Scopper Gyaban tells, Luffy, said, hey, that's a nice straw hat you got there. Don't you think it suits you better than that helmet, right? And Luffy starts using his Gum powers. Well, let's just say he's trying to get the key out of Scopper Gyaban's hand, but he keeps dodging it, like I said. So at this point, Scopper Gyaban is not even taking this seriously. You notice that during the fight, he's not taking this seriously. If he was taking this seriously, he would have, well, 9 times out of 10, leave Luffy kind of unconscious if you know what I mean. Now Luffy says, "Duh, well, obviously Shanks gave it to me for holding on to it. Now give me that damn key." And Scopper Gyaban says, "Holding on to it? Well, he didn't just give it to you, what a cheapskate." And Luffy got mad, he pissed at that comment. And at that moment, Scopper Gyaban shoves the key into Luffy's mouth and kind of force him down, and then takes out his battle axes out of nowhere. I don't know where he hides them damn things, but he takes them out, and Zoro immediately is like, "Oh, that's not good. Something's coming." And Scopper Gyaban yells, "Grim Throng!" and instantly was about to kill Luffy. I mean, this is like I was gonna say, this is not his full power, but this may or may not crack Luffy or damage Luffy a bit, since his weakness is sharp objects. Zoro tells Luffy to dodge, but it would have been too late. So Zoro jumps in with his three sword style and blocks the attack. Barely, mind you. After that, one of the towers kind of... Oh, wait, there we go. There we go. Kind of splits in half and falls down. And Scopper Gyaban at that moment says, that's not bad. This Luffy fellow has a fine crew. And Nami and Roto's like, we might be in trouble. So at that moment, Luffy tells Zoro, okay, now it's about to get serious. So Luffy tells Zoro, alright, let's go, Zoro. And Zoro's like, okay, yeah, right. Time to get serious. And Luffy, mind you, he jumps straight into Gear 5th, because I'm pretty sure the stronger the enemy is, I mean, Luffy jumps into Gear 5th, just to end the bad fight right there, but who knows, right? So he has one of Scopper Gyaban's axes, it looks like. And Scopper Gyaban looks at Luffy, is like, that form. So this is the white form I heard of. Interesting. So right as they both go straight to Scopper Gyaban, he puts up his hands like, I surrender, and his axes fall down on the floor on each side. And Luffy and Zoro crash into the rubble. It says, hold on. One of them says, stop jerking us around, Gramps. And Luffy says, so you tried to kill me and you think we'll just laugh it off? And Scopper Gyaban's response is, well, don't get so worked up, you know. I was just fooling around. What? Technically, he was fooling around with Luffy and Zoro, by the way. Because, mind you, even Rayleigh was showing... I don't think it was his full strength at the same time when he was fighting against... Kizaru. I don't know why my mind went blank there, but he fought against Kizaru, but I think that's his limit of what he can do, because he's not in his prime no more. He's like getting up in there in age, so some of his techniques and movements are kind of like, yeah, they're not like they used to. Same here with Scopper Gyaban too. They're not like they're used to be, right? His skills is down there. However, Scopper Gyaban, you gotta remember too, his nickname was Mountain Eater. So if he would have connected Luffy, or if he would have used his full strength, he would have cut that whole damn castle apart, including the stairs and including the little gate that's in the front, in half, no matter what, right? So luckily he was just fooling around with them, or playing around with them. There you go. So that's like the equivalence of, I mean, I can beat y'all up while even putting in much effort. So yeah, I mean, even though I'm old, I mean, Zoro out right out the back should have like warned Luffy, that, oh yeah, Luffy, let's not. Maybe it's not a good idea for you to fight him alone, because this guy means business, right? So Scopper Gyaban says, anyways, the key is right behind after all, the whole time. And Luffy's like, oh. Then Roto was about to reveal Scopper Gyaban's real identity. I don't know why I keep missing his name, but it's gonna get repeated after all this time. So Scopper Gyaban told Roto, said, wait a minute, hold off with that secret. They'll find out sooner or later throughout their stay here. So let's not spoil anything, right? Let's not reveal let's not reveal my name just yet. They'll find out when the situation arises where they might have to come back to me for some special training or advice, or somehow, some way, when the island's in great major need of rescuing or get the Straw Hats out of danger. Which I'm pretty sure all three of that criteria might come up pretty soon in this chapter, right? Not pretty soon in this chapter, but it might come down the line in each chapter. Like, I would say, 41, 44. I don't know how long this arc is, but I do know is that at some point everybody's gonna get a major power up. It might be Usopp, it might be Nami, might be Frankie, Brooke, Chopper, or some other Bonnie, Kuma, or Dr. Vagabond, whoever. Because at that rate, they might have to get a power up, because the God's Knights are on the island and they're not here to play around, right? So, anyways, back to the chapter. Scopper Gyaban picks up his hat and his coat, and it's like, well, I'll see you guys later. If everybody is still safe by the time you decide to leave, come find me. And Luffy was like, why the hell should we come find you? You moron. And one of them said, but there's no way we're gonna seek you out anytime soon. Anytime soon? Well, we'll see about that. Because we got God's Knights to face, so you might need his help at one point down the line when the situation calls for it. Because, like I said, these are can't get it out. These are the people you should not mess with. Even Dragon mentioned them during their after their raid against Marijois, trying to rescue Kuma and Sabo. Well, not Sabo, but rescue Kuma. And I think Sabo, I don't know what chapter it was, but I think that was during the Reverie arc. But Dragon specifically said, if the God's Knight came out in full force, not trying to say nothing, but they would have been wiped out. They would have got their asses kicked, or so to say. But not gonna say, but it implied that Dragon would have retreated immediately, or that's how I implied, or how I, in my interpretation of it, of what he was saying. But in my mind, if they came down on Dragon's revolutionary army, I'm just gonna say it's not gonna be good, guys. Anyways, flashback occurs in Scopper Gyaban's mind, and it was him and Shanks talking. Shanks says, honestly, Shanks, you really think I trust him that easily? And Shanks like, huh, well, fair enough. Do as you please, Gyaban. Like, they two know each other. And that's where part 1 ends. Final thought on the part 1 chapter, or half of the part 1 of 1140. Like I said, Scopper Gyaban is not the one you should mess around. Even if he's fooling around with Luffy and Zoro and not taking their fight seriously, or Luffy seriously, I would say if Luffy would have jumped into gear 5th real fast and got the key, that would have incited Scopper Gyaban to like look at that. It's like, oh, you're that type of person, huh? Just jump straight into your strongest form, I guess, right? I guess I gotta show you the difference between me and you specifically. So at that point, Scarborough Bombs will probably be like, oh, okay, I guess I gotta show you who's the top dog here, right? Anyways, with how Scopper Gyaban and Rayleigh is, they both, like I said, because they've been around, they seen some shit, and they even told Roger, or Roger told them, say, hey, I don't know what happened between him with those two and Roger, but in my mind, whatever happened to Roger told those two, like, well, this is my final day, so you guys can go free for wherever you want to do. And that's his final order, I guess, before he went to the execution ground or got captured by the Marines. So I'm guessing Rayleigh went his separate way, and went to, I'm guessing, Sabaody archipelago, which that's where he lives at now with Shocky and Scopper Gyaban. Well, that's an interesting tale right there. So I'm guessing Scopper Gyaban got married. Well, not got married, but went to Elbath, stayed there a bit, met his wife, got married, had a kid, and just stuck around on Elbath, and that's his home now. So you got two of the Pirate King's left and right hand man going to separate, living their life, the rest of their lives, and and freedom, right? They're free now. Roger set them free, but like, you guys can do whatever you want. I mean, this is where it all ends for me. Don't need you guys to don't need you guys to be with me all the time. I mean, this is why I chose my decision, right? So Scopper Gyaban, or not, Rayleigh went his way, and Scopper Gyaban, keep messing up his name. Scopper Gyaban goes his way. Now we get to see Rayleigh again, the right hand of the Roger Pirates, and Luffy trained under Rayleigh. So how would that look when I would say it would be the same situation it happened with Rayleigh, right? Because if at one point Luffy can't handle the God's Knight, Shamrock specifically, because I'm definitely making them sure, or maybe not make sure, but I'm definitely sure that Oda is going to pit Luffy against Shamrock, right? But it proves that Luffy can't beat Shamrock, of all people. That looks like Shanks, because shoot, like I said, the bloodline is strong with this one. So at one point, I would say Luffy will look at that, and somebody would have got Straw Hat Luffy. I would guess, and Scopper Gyaban would come out of nowhere and get Luffy out there. Luffy wakes up in a coma. Scopper Gyaban would tell Luffy, said, well, in conclusion, you got your ass whooped. But that ass whooping should have sparked something in you. So, I'm going to train. So, who trained you to do that? I'm guessing he's going to reveal Rayleigh trained him, and say, oh, so Rayleigh trained you. Well, guess what? I'm going to train. So you get an exclusive training with Rayleigh, not only with Rayleigh, but you get exclusive training with the left hand of the Pirate Kings, Goldie Roger, Scopper Gyaban, which the title is Mountain Eater, which you getting trained by me. So I'm going to train your ass to beat that Shamrock's ass. Right? So I'm guessing that's the whole conversation. I mean, that's what I think that's what's gonna happen, because I mean, if you really think about it, you got the God's Knights actually mobilizing, right? So Shamrock and Gunko's there, and they both display their power, not in serious fashion though. They haven't gotten serious just yet, not yet. So there might be a situation where Luffy will have to mind you, heavy word, have to seek out Scopper Gyaban's help in training Luffy, because it might get to the point where Luffy might need an extra power boost to beat Shamrock and his little entourage back to where the hell they came from, or force them to retreat. So at that point, that would be like, yeah, we may have to actually look for this guy, because at this point we cannot beat the God's Knight, and they're too damn strong, right? So yeah, this might be a problem. But if you like this video, subscribe, like, and share, and comment down below if you think Luffy will get trained by the left hand of the king of the pirates, Scopper Gyaban, and we get a power boost along with Zoro and Usopp, pretty much Usopp, right? And thanks again, and see you next adventure. Laters.